listening to IntellectualRadio.com. I am Marvelous Marvelette, aka Molly B, bringing you the beauty of business. Today's featured guest is David Holbert, entrepreneur, business owner, and realtor of Carter Realty Group.
And thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
So, David, tell myself and our listeners a bit about your background.
I have a background in sales and marketing. I got into business back in 2004. I used to work in corporate America doing business to business sales for SBC. I got recruited by Ethan Foster, who's a beauty industry vet, back in 2005, and I started working with him. And I was in the beauty industry for a good 5 years. I serviced Chicagoland, all over the country, Caribbean islands, working with brands like Namaste, Organic Root Stimulator, Carol's Daughter, a whole lot of different places. So then I got into real estate back in 2010. So, I mean, that's the short version, but there's a lot to that story, of course.
Okay, so we're going to go back a bit.
Okay.
Beauty industry.
Okay.
Beauty, from the beauty industry to real estate, that's kind of a large jump. So how did you wind up in the beauty industry? How did you land there?
Well, my mentor, he's seen how well I was in sales and marketing, and he brought me into the beauty industry in 2005. And my job at the time was to service beauty salons all over the country, to teach better business, teach the salons how to run more efficiently and actually selling them product. So I did that for 5 years. I traveled everywhere. We sold a product called Namaste, which was a professional brand. That's how I met you. And it was an amazing experience. I mean, that was business 101, being able to go into so many different beauty salons. I mean, thousands of beauty salons, and just learning the business, showing people how to make more money in their salon, servicing people. And I think the emphasis was on teaching them how to service people in a manner to increase their income. So it was great.
Now, being in the beauty industry and salon owner for 24 years, what was your biggest challenge? So I know, as far as going into salons, and I know how I felt about that, because I kind of gave you a hard time at first, but you won me over.
Yeah.
So what was your biggest challenge?
I think the biggest challenge was getting people to understand that we'll pay for good service, honoring and respecting the client's time, and having the skill set to give them what they're looking for. That was the biggest challenge. I mean, of course, trying to get in the door at first. The beauty salon, that's sacred place for women. This is where you open up, you can be yourself. Your hair isn't done, your makeup isn't done. You can just be you. And so here I am, a young 25, 26-year-old kid coming knocking on your door, and everybody's looking like, who is this guy coming in here? But, I've been blessed to win the trust of so many salon owners over the country who let me in and become a fly on the wall. And I've heard thousands of crazy stories, good stories, horror stories, and it gave me an opportunity to really appreciate what you guys do in the beauty industry. I mean, you're standing on your feet for 10 hours a day, and you're pouring into people over and over and over again. I mean, you're a hairstylist, you're a psychologist, you're doing so many different, you're playing so many different roles for this client that I don't think that there's enough appreciation for what you guys do for us. So those years in the industry, I got to see everything. I've heard the stories when women are telling the stories of, what's going on at home or dealing with their jobs in corporate America and so many different things. And so now, as an adult, older adult rather, and having that experience, I deal with my wife in a different way. I have a more appreciation for what she does, because, I mean, you guys are mothers, sisters, so many different roles, so many different hats that you wear. So that experience changed me as a person. As a business person, I got to see the flaws. You'd hear the stories of people coming in to get their hair done, and they're in a salon for 7-8 hours for a wash and set. That makes no sense.
Absolutely not.
On both sides. One, the service is terrible. Then on the other side, you're losing money if you have that client in there 8 hours. Now you're down to making $2.50 an hour instead of getting them done in an hour or so. So I took that time to help as many people as possible to understand that we have to give good service to keep this business. I mean, this is the last business that we have as Black people that we own. This is the last one. This is it.
Do we still own it?
Well, retail is gone, of course. We know that. That's been gone. But as far as, taking care of our own people and having this industry, this is it, cosmetology.
But everybody, and let me commend you for the phenomenal job you did over the years when you were in the industry, and people are still calling you, and you're no longer there. However, you do, still give advice or whatever. But we're not on the same page. Everybody has a different agenda. It's now down to the dollar, but there's nothing sacred behind it. Not for all people, right, but for a lot. It's just different. Mm-hmm. And the harder we try to build it back up, I feel like a lot of people in the industry are fighting against it. Because they'll say it, but they don't want to put in the work that it takes to rebuild it.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. And I think that the only people that's going to last in this business are the people who are taking the time to learn the new skills and to put time into taking care of the clients. The only people that's going to last. That's it. I mean, that's the way I see it.
I can agree with that. Mm-hmm. Or just but we're going to get off that. We're going to be in the industry too long. So
I could talk about it all day. I got time. That experience was amazing.
We're going to go to the more positive light. What did you find as far as retailing? Mm-hmm. Was it hard to get a lot of salon owners to retail?
Yes. I think that the mindset at the time that I got in the industry in 2005, most people thought that there wasn't an opportunity to retail. They thought, the Koreans had the business and it's gone, but I think we made lots of strides in helping people to understand that there's a tremendous opportunity to still give your clients the kind of products that you use and to make a profit off of it. And we made good headway. I think that the problem was that a lot of people just did not invest in themselves. We're giving money away. I mean, anytime that you have a client sit down and they pay you $100 to get their hair done, and then you send them across the street to the retail shop to go spend another $100 in products, that's a missed opportunity for income. And plus, you're sending your client away to go use products that you don't know that could possibly tear up their hair and make your job harder for you later. Absolutely. So it was missed opportunity. And don't get me wrong, a lot of people did get it and did well. One of the first people that let me in their salons that was successful at it was Desi, off of 95th Street. Oh man, I love that lady. She let me in, and I've had multiple classes there, and she did wonderful over the years, and then coming in your salon, you did the same thing. You let me come in and teach that as well to some of your stylists. And man, I could talk all day about that. It was an amazing experience.
Well, something I remember, when you first came in, you tried to get me to come to this class, a namaste class. Yeah. And I was just like, another class, here we go, another product, yada, yada. He was like, no, I will give you your money back if you're not 100% satisfied. And I was like, don't think I'm not going to ask my money back. But I was so serious. But I was absolutely blown away. And that was probably one of the best decisions I made, because that class changed my life for the better.
Oh, man.
Because of the people I met there. Melvina Cox was the facilitator at that time.
Love Melvina.
And after that class, that prompted me to go on and get my instructor's license, and further went on to do trichology. And let me tell you about Melvina, and she's not on the show right now, but
I love
after that, I didn't talk to her for a good 10 years after that. 5-10 years, it was a long time. Every time I had a flyer, posted something, I was doing anything, she was right there in the front row. every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Even now, whenever I have something, Melvina is right there.
She supports education all day,
Man,
and she supports her people. I love her. Melvina Cox, she's someone I also give credit to because Melvina, Chris Curse, Willie Malone, Kenneth and Lanita Griffin Browning, Ethan Foster, Reggie Brown. These are all people who poured into me for 5 years to give me an understanding, not about just hair, but also about the business side of it, you know. So hats off to them all day.
now we're going to fast forward a bit.
Mhm.
Now you're in real estate. How did you jump from one extreme to the next?
Well, as you know, the economic meltdown back in 2007 affected everyone. From 2007 to 2009, I saw a lot of my clients lose business because their clients were losing their jobs. So if they lose their job, they're not going to the salon often, you know, and then salon, I'm not able to sell product to them. And so, you know, someone like myself who's been living off commission my entire professional life, I seen my checks shrink completely. I went broke. And at the time, my best friend's wife, Carmen, she had been in real estate for probably 7 or 8 years. And she said, you know what, David, you know everybody in Chicago. She's like, why don't you get into real estate? You would do very well. And I have heartily said, yeah, I guess I do pretty well in it. But I wasn't sure to get in it. She went and signed me up for a class without me knowing, and then came in and told me, like, all right, you signed up, take this class so you can get your license. I'm like, I wasn't even completely committed to it, but and I'm so thankful she did that. It changed my entire life. I mean, at the time, I was a single father trying to travel all over Chicago and travel around the country and to Barbados and Jamaica and back to do classes and things of that nature. So it was hard to try to raise a son while doing all that traveling. So real estate kept me in Chicagoland where I can work and also be a father. Um, and it's I mean the economic upside of it has been great. It changed my life, my entire life, and it's exposed me to another side of credit and finance that now I take that time and that information to share with other people.
That's wonderful.
Hmm.
So we're gonna go back a bit. So how would you say? Oh, so you did work in corporate America as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. So how would you say your travel, the road you traveled from corporate America, the beauty industry to entrepreneurship? How would you say that has shaped you? All of those things shaped you and helped you in your entrepreneurship experience.
Well, when I started out in corporate America, I was doing business to business sales. I was selling SBC phone lines to different businesses and stuff, and that was a tough job. Required me to get up, you know, have complete discipline with my time and with the way I worked. And then the skill set that I learned from there, I got into the beauty industry, and I was able to take that and show and teach that as well on helping other people manage their businesses well. And then, of course, I was able to use the contacts and the experience from the beauty industry and apply it to real estate. Seeing how the stylists treated their clients, because I mean, your clients, they trust you with everything. I applied that to real estate. I mean, I was able to build a business based off of people being able to trust that I'm gonna take care of them. I mean, in sales, all people want to know is that you're gonna take care of them. You're not gonna take them. You're not gonna misuse them or, oversell or things of that nature. So my approach is I'm gonna treat you like family. I'm going to treat you like my mom or my sister or my brother. If we're going to buy a house, I want to make sure that you understand the whole process and everything that's going on so you feel confident in your purchase and to make sure that you buy the right property. Um, I tell clients all the time, I'm not here to sell you the most expensive house. If you tell me, David, look, I don't want to go over $1,400 a month, then that's what we're looking for. We're looking for something 1,400 and below. And if you find it for 1,100 a month, great. I mean, I don't want you to be in foreclosure in a couple of years later. I want you to be comfortable so you can manage it and that you can earn money from this asset. And then you have something to give to your children later. And I've been able to get referral after referral for taking care of people. So I just apply how you guys take care of people in the beauty industry to the same thing.
So it's basically business is business is business across the board, and that's what I try to explain to people. The rules don't change;
Nope.
they stay the same. You just have to study the rules and pay attention to the
That's it.
signs.
I call myself a conscious capitalist. I like to do what's best for the community, so I can make money while taking care of my people. I mean, that's just the bottom line.
Mhm. So, for those of you who just tuned in, you're listening to IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart radio station. I am Marvelous Marvelette, aka Molly B, bringing you the beauty of business. Today's featured guest is David Hobart, entrepreneur, business owner, and real estate agent for Carter Realty Group. So, is there a way that you want our listeners to get in touch with you, David, if they're interested in purchasing a home?
Absolutely. You can call me directly at 708-377-3656. You can call me or text me. I am really good at getting back to everyone. So 708-377-3656. Or you can go to my Facebook page, which is David Hobart, Realtor, and you can get in touch with me there.
Great. So let me ask, do you only do home sales? Do you mess with rental at all from people who are looking to rent?
Yes, I work with sellers, buyers. I'm a landlord. I own other property that I rent out, and I also flip houses. That's the part that I'm actually teaching other people how to become investors and to earn income that way too. Because in these days and times where it's so tight, you need another income.
Multiple streams.
Oh, Lord, you do.
A few other incomes.
Absolutely. So, I'm just taking my experiences and teaching other people that, and it's been good. I mean, my business has been successful, and I have to thank God for that.
Okay. So what tips could you give people interested in the home? Not give away all the secrets, but just do's and don'ts. Just three key things when you're looking to buy property.
Well, number one, I'd say call me
Good
because I
answer.
want to make sure that you buy the right property. Number two, take a real look at your finances and decide for yourself what you can afford. We all know the pre-approval process when you go to a bank and you ask them to take a look at your credit and your income, and they'll tell you, okay, you're qualified to buy $400,000. That may not be best in your best interest to spend 400,000. So look at your finances and figure out, okay, what makes sense to spend every month. And I'll sit down with you. I've been doing that for the past almost 2 years now, sitting down with people, going over their finances, telling them, how they can put themselves in a better financial position, and just come up with what's real for you and a real budget. Number three, I would say become educated, ask questions. There's nothing wrong with going we live in a world of Google and YouTube, so there's nothing you can't find out there as far as information on what's the best thing to do, and then test it. You can go talk to me or whoever realtor that you're working with and see, does it make sense. Those would be the top three I can think right off the top of my head.
Now, do you only do residential or do you do commercial properties as well?
I do residential. My wife has gotten into the business as well. Her name is Angela Keel Holbert, and she does commercial real estate. So I would definitely put you in contact with my wife who does that. We like keeping the money in the family,
I know that's right.
She likes to buy shoes, so mama got to go make that money.
So, are you all with different realty companies? And is it okay if we give, for those who are looking for commercial properties, is it okay if we give
Absolutely
Angela's Facebook page or her information?
Absolutely. We work for the same company. We work together. We're a team. You can go find her at Angela Keel Holbert Realtor on Facebook, or you can call her directly at 334-538-4559.
And again, for residential properties,
Call
contact you
call
and
your
give
boy.
your information again.
You can call me at 708-377-3656, or you can find me on Facebook at David Hobart Realtor.
Okay, now, how did your wife end up? Was she already in real estate, or is she coming after you? How did that happen?
She's a college professor, and she's seen my checks come through, and she's seen how we've been able to move up economically, and she's like, look, I'm tired of working for somebody else. I want to get into this business as well. And I think she got the bug after we flipped our first house. Our first house, let me give you a little background about me. I'm the cheapest dude you'll ever meet, ever. I'm talking about I'll squeeze the quarter until the eagle screams. That's how cheap I am. And so the first house we bought, it was ugly. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna try to sell you on it. It was kind of ugly, but I wanted to make sure that we bought a house that had the space that we need in a safe neighborhood that I can afford, and also afford to set money aside to save and invest. And so my wife, she went along with me. Bless her heart. She went along with the plan. And I told her, look, this isn't a permanent thing. We're going to keep moving up. And so we stayed there maybe 4.5 years. I rehabbed it a bit, and then we sold it for $52,000 profit. And she saw that check. She's like, okay, he knows what he's talking about here, you know. And then we bought another house, and we bought under market value. We rehabbed it, made it just absolutely beautiful. We stayed there maybe 13 or 14 months. And then we sold that for like $40,000 or $50,000 profit. And so now we're in our dream house, but we made the right moves to get there. We started small, and we just built everything brick by brick. And that was the plan. And I think that I earned her trust. I mean, she trusted me, but seeing is believing as well. So she saw, okay, he's definitely about his money, you know. And in the midst of all that, we're buying rental properties and putting people in good places to live and earning money from that. So we jumped out there making sure that we made calculated risk.
Very good story. I'm going to go back because you actually put yourself through school cutting hair.
Sure did.
So that's going way back.
Sure did.
Tell us that story. I love that story. That was one of the first stories you told me when we met. So tell that story.
So I grew up in Joliet, Illinois, and I grew up in the east side of Joliet, which was, you know, it's had its problems just like any place with crime and unemployment and so much depression and stuff like that. And I got an opportunity to go to college on a scholarship. And of course, the scholarship covered maybe like half of what it costs. Mm-hmm. And at the time, you know, me and my family were having problems. So I had moved out of the house when I was 16 or 17. So I was moving from house to house and doing what I had to do to live. You know, I had a job, and I was selling car radios and installing them in people's cars just to make money.
Now, let me just interrupt. When I say this is the hardest hustling man I know, they're going to find a way to make some money.
Yeah, I got to eat. Okay. So, you know, I'm 16, 17 out there, you know, installing car systems in cars. And I was working telemarketing and doing whatever I had to do. I graduated high school, and I went to college with $107 in my pocket. That's it. That's all I had. You know, me and my father wasn't on good terms, so it was just me, my mom, and my girlfriend at the time that drove up to school. And I said, I got to figure out a way to make some money while I'm out here, you know. I went to Walmart, bought some clippers, and I went to work. I told everybody, hey, I cut hair, and I built a tremendous, I was only the only black barber in Kirksville, Missouri, which is middle of nowhere, Missouri. I mean, you got tumbleweed going, but I made good money cutting hair, and I did.
Did you know how to cut hair already, or did you just wing it?
Yeah, okay. I did. I had been cutting hair since I was 12. So,
okay.
So I went in and I did really well cutting hair, $5 a head. I think I went up to maybe like $7 after a couple of years or something. But you can imagine how many heads I had to cut to make some decent money. So between cutting hair and DJing parties and stuff like that, that's what I did to put myself through school. Yeah. You can ask anybody that know me; they'll tell you.
I believe you because you've been telling me that story since from way back when, 2008, 2009.
Yeah, way back.
Before then, way.
May have been 06, 07, man.
Yeah, because yeah, you told me, yeah.
Yep. So
that's interesting. So where there's a will, there's a way. Hey, you can make things happen.
We gonna eat. That's my motto. We gonna eat. Yeah.
So if you could go back and tell your younger self anything that you learned or would have did differently, is there anything, I should say, let me change the question. Is there anything you would have did differently to get to where you are today?
I'm not sure. I mean, I ponder that a lot, you know, about regrets and what would I change. And I just don't know what it is that I would change, because I believe like everything that I could change could affect now, the present. I'm tremendously happy with where I am in my life. We're not in debt like that. I mean, there's a lot of people that's up to their eyeballs in debt, and we're okay. We're doing pretty good. I have a great wife. I have great children. I mean, I don't have too many complaints. So I had to go through all the struggles to put me in the position that I am right now, because I look at that experiences, when I left home, I had to figure things out. I live in a place where, just being black, somebody from another gang could just assume you're in a gang, could kill you, so it was crazy when I was growing up down back in that time. So I had to figure things out. I had to figure out, where to live and how to earn some money to take care of myself. And now I've been living off commission for, I don't know, 18, 20 years, so, and most people don't know how to do that. Most people need a 9 to 5 and get a check every 2 weeks because they can depend on that. But I've always depended on myself, and that's all I know, and I just try to share my story, and maybe it can inspire other people to do better than me. That's it. I've had some great mentors over the years. Like I said, Ethan Foster was somebody who came from Jamaica and built up a tremendous business and respect in the industry. And, when I was in the beauty industry, him, Reggie Brown, just so much information that I learned. That's the best school of business I could have ever went to. I mean, I watched my mentor brought in Lisa Price. She's the woman that created Carol's Daughter. And she had probably 300 or 400 different products at the time. And I watched as we put together a package where we scaled it down to 100 products. And we put it in Sephora, JCPenney's, Macy's, and now it's all over the world because we met with Steve Stout and all these different powerful people, L.A. Reid and Jimmy Iovine from Interscope Records at the time. Now he's with Apple. We did that. And to say, man, I could do anything if my mentor can do these things, you know what I'm saying? So it just, I don't know, man. I can't say that I would change anything. I can't honestly say that. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, but I don't know what I changed.
But you learn from them. So mistake is a lesson.
It really is.
People look at it as a negative, and I just had this conversation with my daughter last night. It's not always a negative. It's something you learn from, and sometimes things happen, and everybody say, "Oh, the devil busy." He be busy, but it's not always the devil. Sometimes it's angels of God protecting you from something or showing you that He has something better for you.
Correct.
So I just try to look at it from the things I've been through. I look at life so much different now. Just make things so simple. Everything ain't, you don't have to go to 100 for everything.
Right.
I was guilty of that. Every little thing. I broke my nail, I'm going to 100. I got a flat tire, I'm going to 100.
Right.
They messed up my food. They put egg on my sandwich, I'm allergic to egg. I'm going to 1. It ain't that serious.
Right. It really ain't.
And I used to have a really, really bad sense of direction. And my daughter at the time, she had to be about 10. If that, she said, "Well, Mom, don't your car go in reverse?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, turn around and go back to the way." It's
dropping
just
knowledge.
Simple, right? It's just that simple. Everything don't have to be rah.
Yeah.
So now I just
so
take
funny.
my time. I just do it, just whatever. So when I think about that, my daughter's 22 now, and that's still sticking in my head. Like, it's just simple. Just simplify your life. You don't always have to be in a hurry. You don't always have to be on 10, and everything ain't about you. It's not personal.
That's true.
So I had to come to that. Life will have a way of humbling you and making you look at things differently, and just know that everything, the cashier in Walgreens might be having attitudes. You don't know what she woke up to this morning. You don't know what's going on. Give her a smile and keep it moving. Give her a compliment, something.
That goes a long way. Just smiling and say thank you and tell people I appreciate you. You can change a whole person's day that way. I agree with you 100%. I mean, growing up in Joliet, I mean, you know how it is in the North. Sometimes when you're looking at people and you're about to say hi, and they're like, "What are you looking at?" But, I'm kind of used to the South. My parents are from Arkansas and Memphis, Tennessee. And so back South, we say hello to everybody we see. So, a little Southern hospitality will go a long way.
My biggest pet peeve when I walk into a establishment, Walgreens does it all the time now. And I would give them a pass because if the cashier greets you when you're next in line, but they'll when you come to the door, somebody say, "Hey, how you doing? Welcome to Walgreens. Let me help you." When I walk into an establishment, be it a salon, a restaurant, whatever, and nobody says anything. They don't say, "Hi, how you doing?" They don't say, "Be with you in a minute." They don't say nothing. They act like you're not there.
Mm-hmm.
That takes me to 10. I don't like that. Like, I'm coming in to patronize your establishment, spending my money. You can't even say hello. I don't. That is my biggest pet peeve.
It's arrogance. It's arrogance. It's almost like people just expect you to show up to their business just because you have a business. No, you have to show appreciation for people taking time out of the day to go to your business, because you go down Roosevelt Road right here, it's probably 100,000 different beauty salons, but they chose your salon. You have to show that appreciation.
I think sometimes we get caught up and we get lost and we just forget the simple things in life.
Yeah.
So for those of you who just tuned in, you're listening to IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart radio station. I am Marvelous Marvelette, a.k.a. Molly B., bringing you the beauty of business. Today's featured guest is David Holbert. He is an entrepreneur, a business owner, and a realtor of Carter Realty Group. So if you're interested in purchasing residential properties or commercial properties, you can contact David or his wife. And I'm going to allow David another opportunity to give your contact information as well as your wife's.
All right. You can call me at 708-377-3656, or you can go to my Facebook page, which is David Holbert. That's HULBERT, realtor. And you can reach me there. My wife that does Angela Keel Holbert, who does commercial real estate. You can go to her page, which is Angela Keel Holbert, realtor, or you can call her directly at 334-538-4559.
And actually, if you are listening live or looking at us on Facebook Live, Angela is actually on. I'm looking at her.
Baby girl,
so
stay on it.
So you can click on her and go directly to her page as well.
Yeah, she stays on it.
So what are some of your future business ventures? Is there anything else you have going on in the works or thinking about or that you want to share? Sometimes we don't want to share things too soon.
Oh, it's not a problem. I don't mind inspiring some thoughts. I'm looking forward to retiring in my 40s and going south and starting a farm. Actually, I want to start a farm and get into grocery stores. I want to start my own. I was in a grocery store a couple of years ago with my wife. I know that sounds crazy, but yeah, a couple of years ago.
Cool.
And lemons were $1.50 a piece, and I thought that was just insane that they were so expensive. Oh man, I forgot what store it was at, but
yeah, don't say.
But it was
plugging them. They get $1.50 lemon. They don't need our plug.
Yeah, and then on top of that, it's GMO lemons, so you know how either you like GMOs or you like organic food. So I thought, let me get back into producing our own food. I want to start a farm where we can produce our own crops. We can produce our own chicken and cows and have a lake where you can drag your own fish out of there every year. I want to be able to provide my own products to my own grocery store and just get back to the basics. That's one of my plans in the near future is to do that. Then I'm also going to get into the application business. I want to start making some apps for the iPhone and the Android users out there. I don't want to say exactly what it is yet because I don't want nobody to try to beat me to the punch. But I got some things in the works that that's going to help and inspire a lot of people to do well with themselves.
Okay, great, good stuff. I'm not surprised at all. And I knew it was something. So I guess in about 3-4 years, I'll start looking for Holbert's produce in the section of the grocery store.
Yeah. Give me I'll say about 7 years. I'm waiting till my oldest son go to college, and then I'll go down south and we'll get started on the farm. I got a plan. Like I want to stick to this plan of when my oldest go to college, this is what we're gonna do. Like that's the plan.
You do that because you generally, from what I know, you do exactly what you say you're gonna do, how you say you're gonna do it.
Our word is bond.
Yeah, so that's good stuff. So, do you miss the beauty industry at all?
I do. I made a lot of friends. in the business. And I still I still keep in touch with a lot of my friends from the business who either were business owners or were the stylists and stuff like that. And we talk, but I miss it. It's not even the business side of just selling, just coming in and saying hi and see how people are doing. That's what I miss. Because like I said, you guys, I have a tremendous respect for what you have done for people. I have a tremendous respect for the business because, like I said, it's one of the last ones that we have of our own. And so just being in the middle of it, I do miss that. I do. Coming in, and I'm hearing all the stories, and then of course being the only man in the salon.
And you sit back in the cut and just observe.
Yeah. I used to hear some of the funniest stories, but then sometimes I be in the middle of something because they want a man's perspective on it. Oh my goodness! So those were fun times too.
But you also jumped in and got in where you fit in. Like, if we needed help, let me fill that water bowl up. We were doing facials one time in the salon. You jumped right on in, and with your slacks on, you didn't care, and just did what you need to do to help us out. So I appreciate that too.
Yeah, man.
So you did a lot. You did good.
I appreciate it. I experienced it. It shaped me to be who I am, man. So I appreciate you guys letting me in your world. And it's a whole other world out there, and I think people need to respect it.
Yeah.
It should be a national, do something nice for your hairstylist day. We need that.
There is a National Hairstylist Day, but I don't think that a lot of the clients even acknowledge it or even know that it exists.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, there is, and I know I'm bad. I should be able to call the dates, but I don't know it by heart. But there is one. There is a National Hairstylist Day.
We should do that every month. Every month, go buy your stylist lunch. If you think about it, you have 50 clients. You should never have to pay for your own lunch. Just because they heard your crazy story about your kids, you should do something nice.
Okay, y'all heard that, right? Yes. Where are my clients at?
Well, do it. Seriously, man. We should be doing that. Everybody should do something nice for them.
So let me ask you this. How do you have a lot of people you've met in the beauty industry? Have they been your clients for real estate?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that has been great because they remember how well I took care of them and my integrity in that business. So of course, Dave, you sell houses now? Of course I'm gonna work with you because I know you're gonna take care of me. And man, God has provided awesome opportunities for me to take care of my family. I really appreciate anyone calling us to help them buy a piece of property. It helps me feed my family, and I take pride in that. So thank you.
That's why you don't burn bridges, because you never know who you're going to need, when you're going to need them, how you're going to need them. You never know. Life is full circle all the time.
Absolutely.
So the bridges you burn, you may try to come back around and walk across that bridge again, it's gone.
Your reputation is everything.
Yeah.
If you were a trash business person in that business, they're not going to another business. I agree.
Or even the little things you do as far as, so let me go back to salons. And if you're not the owner of the salon, and everybody's not guilty of this, but a lot of the employees or renters in the salon don't value the salon and don't value the business or the things that they do. They're not mindful. Like, one of my biggest pet peeves, everybody could be sitting down. I'm working. Someone comes say, there's water on the floor in the bathroom. Are you kidding me?
Should have been taken care of.
There's some more tissue in the bathroom, but there's 3 boxes of tissue up there. So I have to stop what I'm doing, literally. And this is the biggest thing. I used to give away. I had candy dishes. And I had good candy, not no dollar set, good candy. And I would clean my salon every Sunday. At the time I was married, so me and my husband. I used to pay people to do it. But I stopped because I would still have to go behind them. So I said, I am very particular, so I know it's clean if I do it myself. So when I would move my dryers, now I just gave you complimentary candy because I don't like the word free. Complimentary candy. There's candy wrappers behind the dryers. There's garbage cans at every booth. There's one in the back. There's one in the shampoo bowl. You think that's what you think of me. I'm giving you something complimentary, and you throw the wrappers. I gave complimentary tea, complimentary coffee, muffins, coffee, sugar packets on the really?
Makes no sense, man. You gotta have that respect. And like you said, you got team members that work there. It should be a team effort to keep this thing going. And yeah, we're losing some.
A lot of people don't think like that.
Yeah.
See, when you have a business, you have more bills than everybody in there.
Mm-hmm.
Because y'all pay y'all portion of rent and then y'all take your rest and go home and do whatever you want to. We still got bills.
Mm-hmm.
We got more bills. So we have more responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you decide to not pay attention and drop the curl in there and down your client's face and to the pink meat, you probably don't have liability insurance. So who they coming after?
You.
Absolutely. That water on the floor in the bathroom, your client fall, they're not coming after you. It's not your problem. They're coming to me.
Mm-hmm.
So people don't understand. They just don't understand those things. And I just wish wholeheartedly, not everybody is like that, but really be mindful of the things you do and how you carry yourself, because you never know when it's going to come back and bite you.
Mm-hmm.
So I said to a person, this was not spiteful or anything. Congratulations. I wish everything on you that you put out to every other business owner that you worked at. And not long term, but just so you get it.
Mm-hmm.
So you get it. Because
Mm-hmm.
you can try to explain, but the bottom line, you can't want more for somebody than they want for themselves. So I'm going to say that.
That's true.
In a nutshell. So integrity is everything.
It is.
It's everything.
I've watched you guys pour into so many stylists come out of beauty school, and some of them, they get it and they're great teammates, and then some of them don't get it. And I just hate to see it taken for granted. You know, I mean, you as a business owner, stylists come in, they're really watching you. Because I mean, a lot of stylists aspire to have their own salon one day and see what's the good and what I can take from here, and what's the bad I can leave somewhere else. Be appreciative of that experience. You didn't have to let them, come in your salon and work in the first place. So.
Well, I had some. Well, we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there.
I know.
We're gonna switch up.
Yeah.
We're not gonna go there. So I opted to let it go, and I do other things. I'm all over the place, going on to the next business venture, and I'm okay with that. I'm content. I'm content. Got a lot of great things going on. Got some great things in the works, and I'm content.
Well, you've been amazing. My experiences working with you has been great. Like I can take those lessons in other places and flourish. So I appreciate what you've done for me over the years.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. I try. But it is what it is. But I'm still gonna be me. Mm-hmm. So I'm still me.
And you're still providing opportunities for people. I mean, look, you called me to come up here, man. I appreciate that. You didn't have to do that. That's great.
And I appreciate you saying yes.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
It's an awesome platform, man. I'm excited.
Everybody loves this. Earl did a great job. Mm-hmm. And Wanda does a great job. So it's just love it. Very nice and comfortable.
Yeah. I feel good. Had the jitters this morning, but I'm mad cool right now.
Everybody has the jitters. It's just me. It's just me. We just having a conversation.
Yeah.
Just me. Hey Dave, what you know about da 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 da? Like we just on the phone. Mm-hmm. So it's just me, just having a conversation. You can't see everybody who can see you right now. How about I just get the jitters again?
No, I'm good, man. It's easy talking about what's real, so it came out easily.
Yeah. Right. So anything else you want our listeners to know about you that I didn't ask? Because I actually didn't use my notes a lot because I want a more personal feel. Besides, I don't like looking at myself flipping through my papers when I go back and look at everything.
I got you. I think that everyone should take the time to educate themselves about economics and politics, because we're living in some times right now where it's going to get tougher for everybody that's not rich, that's not a part of the 1%. And I think that you should get in charge of your finances and start 5 and 10-year plans to prepare yourself for these changes. Be financially responsible. Be careful about where you're spending your money and who you're spending it with, because a lot of places, I know I can't say certain names here, but a lot of places that we spend our money, they're giving money to politicians who work against you. If you want health care for everyone, Stop spending your money with businesses that buy politicians to keep you away from that healthcare. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that we have to educate ourselves better about what's going on in today in these times, you know, because whatever we don't do, we're leaving a mess for our kids, you know. And if you're in a bad financial position now, take time to write out every bill that you have, everything you got going on, and figure out a way to change that for the better so you can start saving money. And by the way, you can call me for that. There's a lot of people that call me that's not looking to buy a house. I literally donate my time to help people get their finances and credit in order. So you can call me anytime. And that's at 708-377-3656. We'll set up a meeting and I'll go over and help you with your finances. Because like I said, I'm the cheapest dude you ever meet. So I'll show you how to save some money. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
Furthermore, you know, I've met with people who, you know, they have I'll take a look at their credit report and I'll see someone who has a $600 or $700 car note and they're getting charged 15% interest. And I'm like, look, you got decent credit. You should not have signed up for this. And I'll show them how to go to a better place to get that car refinanced into maybe like a $400 note, you know, so you're not wasting so much money on interest. And now you've got money to save every month. And so we'll go line by line by that. But we're living in some times right now where you've got to make some tough choices. You have to be disciplined about your money, and educate yourself to a point where you can teach these things to your kids, especially now. Don't send them in the real world with bad credit. Please don't do that.
That is key. And a lot of parents don't talk to their children about finances, or they say, well, that they stay in the child's place. No, you have to start from the crib.
Absolutely.
And groom them and show them and teach them. You know, a
Absolutely.
lot of us don't do that. And that's very important. But a lot of grown people don't know because nobody ever took the time to show and teach them the importance of different things.
That's correct. I don't care if it's $2 or $5. Every single weekend, you should be taking your kid to the bank and show them how to fill out a deposit slip and putting money into their own bank account. I don't care if it's $2. I don't care if it's 50 cents, $10, $20. That should be a routine so your child gets into the mode of saving.
Now, what was a blessing for me, my children, the school they went to, they had bank at school.
That's
so they
good.
opened their bank accounts at school, and 1 month, one day out of each month, the bank would come to the school and they got in line with their little deposit slips and they would go and deposit their monies. So I had a situation, my son was about, I want to say 2 or 3. And he goes, Mama, you got some money? I don't have no money. He was like, just go to the bank, go to the ATM. I said, sweetheart, you have to put money in order to get money out. So for Christmas, what did they get? They got ATM banks. They had a little debit card. They had to put money in, and they put the money in, and it would come back out.
Mm-hmm.
But I showed them, if you don't put nothing in there, you can punch them numbers all day long. You don't get nothing but a receipt.
Yep. Say you ain't got anything in there, buddy. Come back again.
He's like, just go to the bank. Like money just magically appears. I said, no, let me let you know real quick. That's not how that works, baby.
Mm-hmm. I agree. We got to teach them early. You know, if you take your child now who's 3-4 years old, by the time they're grown, they've have 14 years worth of a relationship with this bank. When your child goes to apply for a business loan, now they can get it because they've shown that they've been able to save money. They now have credit because mom and dad put a car or something in their name and paid that bill on time, and now they have perfect credit. They can get ahead. But I mean, if we don't teach them these things, we're just putting them in the worst situation that we may have been in at that time. So now's the time for it.
Oh, I did that too. So do you actually do seminars, or you just do one-on-one teachings for credit and debit?
I do one-on-one. I originally were going to do seminars, but I wanted to create an environment where people felt comfortable talking about their finances and opening up. I find that, especially in my community, our community rather, Black men don't like talking about their bad credit or even understand how bad it is. They don't want to say, hey, I only have $25 in my bank account. They don't want to say that, And so I started doing one-on-one, and I don't know, 2 years, I probably worked with maybe 100 plus people. Maybe I need to start doing seminars. I'm ready for it if it's the time. But I just wanted people to be comfortable talking about it, because I felt like if I can make a difference in each person's life, I mean, that's something that not only helps them now and prepare for later, but they can teach that to their kids. I mean, we're living in times where the average person doesn't have $500 for an emergency. That's rough. You make almost $50,000 a year and you don't have $500 to fix the brakes on your car right now. Something's not right. Yeah. When my wife met me, she learned that I didn't even have cable. That's how cheap I was. I had an internet connection and Netflix, and I paid $50 a month for all of that.
Now, let me say, since you went back there and your wife said, all caps, he is absolutely the cheapest guy on the planet, but it made a difference for our family. And that's major. Mm-hmm. That she did, say, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Because what really, when I was a few years back, I'm saying a year and a half ago, I was paying cable bill was like a car note.
Yeah, seriously.
$330, but I can guarantee you all the cable box and all the cable ain't there now that I'm gone. Because I had to eat that bill. And I don't even watch TV. Mm-hmm. How about that?
Just think about that. You're giving away $200-$300 a month for maybe like 30 minutes to an hour worth of TV watching every day. No, it doesn't make sense, especially when you don't have money to save every month. Get rid of it. Get rid of what you don't need. Like, I remember having a storage unit full of stuff for like 3 years. And then I went in the storage unit one day and I'm like, I don't even need this stuff.
If it's been there for 3 years, did you even remember what was there? Yeah.
Man, I gave it away. Beds, couches, all kinds. I just give it away. Like, I don't hold on to anything that is costing me money that's a liability. I get rid of it. Even people. Some people in your life are liabilities. Oh, yeah. They drive you crazy. So sometimes you have to step away from people too, because their interests aren't aligning with yours. So I want to live a life where I can be productive, enjoy my family, serve God, and enjoy my life, man. That's it. That's all it comes down to.
It's good stuff. So one more time.
Yes.
Give our listeners a way that they can contact you.
You can call me at 708-377-3656, or you can find me on Facebook at David Holbert, Realtor, and you can inbox me there. You can find most of my videos and some other properties that are for sale. Catch me anytime. And if you text me, I'm usually pretty responsive, and I can get back to you soon as well.
So you guys remember to tune in every Monday at 1:00 p.m. Central Standard Time for The Beauty of Business with your host, Marvelous Marvelette, a.k.a. Molly B, and my featured guests. Until next week, mind your business.
Lights, camera, action. I'm the main attraction. This feature presentation don't need no introduction. Press play. Are you ready? Press play.